Lesson 722, Solving Proportions, Daily Learning Target. By the end of the period, the students will investigate different strategies for solving proportions. The in class is 7-106 to 7-109. The homework is 7-112 to 7-117. Okay. In class, 7-106 to 7-109 for lesson 722, Solving Proportions. JR reduced figure A at the right to create a similar figure B. Okay. Write all the ratios that compare the corresponding figures of sides of figure B to figure A. So we're taking a number off B and writing it over the number for A, but we're writing it as ratios. So let's see. If I take this 3 off of B, that corresponds to this 4 over here, so that's 3/4. If I take this 9 off of B, that corresponds to this 12, so that's 9/12. If I take this X off of B, that corresponds to 6, so that's X over 6. Okay, what is the relationship between these ratios? They are equal. They are equal. Oh man, I never turned it over. Excuse me. Let's start again. So sorry. Forgot to rotate the camera. Okay, I'm gonna go over this again. All right. So, so we're going from B to A. So I took this 3 over the B, and it corresponds to this 4, so I got 3/4. I took this 9 off of the B, and it corresponds to 12, so I got 9/12. I took this X off of the B, and it corresponds to 6, so that's X over 6. I'm sorry, you guys. All right. How do you know? Okay, so the ratios are equal, and how do we know? Similar figures have corresponding sides that are equal. B. One of the relationships between the sides can be written as 3/4 equals X over 6. So I took this one and I set them equal. Okay. It's a little blurry to mommy. Okay. Find 2 different ways to find the value of X. Okay, so if I do this the first way, 3/4 equals X over 6. We could do that crisscross method where we go like this, remember? 4x equals 18. Yeah? Divided by 4. X equals 4.5. Or, number 2, you could do 3/4 equals X over 6. And we use our giant 1. So then, you do 3/4 times, I need a giant 1 of 1.5 over 1.5. I'll make it my giant 1. And then 3 times 1.5 is 4.5 over 6. So X equals, me on camera, 4.5. Same answer, 2 different ways to get there. Is your answer reasonable? Yes. Because we did it twice, got the same thing. Alright, multiple strategies. Here we go. What is wrong? My eyes are tired this morning. Okay, multiple strategies. JR's team is trying to find multiple ways to solve 3/4 equals X over 6 in problem 106 one we just did. With your team, analyze each of the strategies below. Some of these strategies might be the same as what you came up with in 106. However, others may be new. Work to understand each strategy so that you can use it to solve a new problem. Okay, so he wants to use the giant 1. Oh, we did that. So then let's see. Explain how he can find the value to use as the numerator and denominator of the giant 1. Okay. He is looking for a number to multiply by 4 in order to get 6. So you do 6 divided by 4 equals 1.5. And then you will use 1.5 as the numerator and denominator for the giant one. So let's actually put that in there. Okay, looking at JR's work, Letitia said, I see it differently. We just need to find some number so that when we divide by 6, you get 3/4. We can undo the division by multiplying each side of the proportion by 6 like this. Okay, so she took the number that was underneath the variable, which was 6. Well, since it's underneath, it's 1/6. And then she multiplied by the reciprocal. With your team, explain how Letitia's idea works. Okay. Are the two ratios still equal? Yes. Yes. Comma. She, am I still on screen? Multiplied both sides by 6/1. Why did she choose the 6? She chose 6 because x is divided by 6. Remember, you're trying to do the opposite. Since it's being divided by 6, the opposite of that is multiplying by 6. So they want, oh, she started up here and they wanted us to finish down here. Okay, so I'm gonna copy what she has. 6/1 3/4 equals x over 6. 6/1. Okay, so then 6 times 3 is 18 divided by 4 equals x. Go over here, I'm running out of room. Oh, just write it the other way. X equals 18/4. Kind of don't like that, which is 4.5. Okay. Next page, no, don't move. The kids need to still look at you. Next page. Okay. Okay. Part C. Abner asked, but if multiplying both sides by 6 gets rid of the denominator of the x, then we can use the same strategy to get rid of the 4 in the other denominator. Like when we do fraction busters, right? Discuss Abner's question and decide if undoing both denominators using fraction busters is a reasonable strategy. Oh my gosh. So look, he just multiplied both sides. He took the two denominators and he multiplied both sides by it. Dude, are you kidding me? Yes. If you multiply both sides by 4 and 6, then the equation will be 18 equals 4x. Does this help solve the equation? It makes it simpler. X equals 18 is not solved yet. It won't be solved until we get x by itself, and now x has a 4 attached to it, so it's not solved yet. Alright. Use the strategies from the previous problem to solve the problem below. Okay, A. Use Letitia's method of undoing division to solve the proportion. When you find P, replace it and confirm the two ratios are equal. Okay, so Letitia had this. P over 22.5 equals 7 over 5? 7 over 5. Okay. So, what do I want to do? Okay, this is my original. These are my originals. I'm going to multiply by the denominator that's under the P. So I'm going to multiply this by 22.5 over 1, and then this side by 22.5 over 1. So then I get P equals 157.5 divided by 5. So then P equals 31.5. Write and solve a proportional equation for x for the similar triangle. Use Abner's method. Okay, Abner went, this one is over this one. So x over 30. And then this one over this one. 12 over 15. What did Abner say to do? Is it his is the same as what's your face's? Okay, so this is my original. Okay. I'm going to multiply both sides by 30 over 1. And then, let's see. 30s take each other out. 15 goes into 15 once, goes in there twice. So then, x equals 24. Because 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, apple juice container. An apple juice container has a tiny hole in it. Okay, pour it in a glass. So it's slowly leaking. If the container leaks 3 ounces every 19 minutes, we need that number. 3 ounces every 19 minutes. 3 ounces every 19 minutes. How long will it take for the 16 ounces of juice in the container to leak out? Okay. So we're trying to figure out what this is. And I'm going to call that x. So we need our giant 1. So then I need to know 3 times what is 16. So we'll do 16 divided by 3 and we'll get 5.3 repeat. So we'll do 3 over 19 times 5.3 repeat over 5.3 repeat. There's my giant 1. When you multiply it, you get 16. That's a 16 over 101.3 repeat minutes. So x equals 101.3 repeat minutes. I don't know, just pour it in a glass. Why are you doing this to yourself? Okay, one more page. Okay, question 109. For each problem below, decide if the situation is proportional. If the problem is proportional, say so, and then solve the problem using the strategy you chose. If the problem is not proportional, explain why not, and then solve the problem. Okay. So Steve drove 130 miles from Portland to Tacoma in 2 hours. Okay, so we're comparing miles and hours. We have 130 over 2. If he continues to drive at the same speed, how long will it take him to drive 390 miles? Well, miles goes on top, so 390 goes up here. There's my X. So then let's do crisscross. Crisscross. 130x equals, ooh, what's that? 780. 780 divided by 130. X equals 6 hours. Okay, so this was proportional. Because I set up a proportion right here. Okay, at an amusement park, you pay $15 entrance fee and then $4 for each ride. Okay, so you're going to pay $15 plus $4 a ride. I'm going to use R for my variable for ride. Each ride you go on. How much will it cost you to go on 7 rides? Well, do I even have a proportion set up there? This is not proportional. And how many rides are we going on? 7. So $15 to get in plus $4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 15. You're going to spend a whopping $43. Okay, Armando collected bottle caps in months. Okay, so bottle caps months. So you got 39 bottle caps in 3 months. At this rate, how many bottle caps will you have in 5 months? Months goes on the bottom. Call the one I don't know X. Crisscross time. 3x equals, what's 5 times 39? 195. 195 divided by 3. X equals 65. Bottle, please be on screen, caps. So this one is proportional. And for those of you who didn't see, I went ahead and I circled that 6 hours up there. Okay, the grocery store sells 3 limes for 99 cents. So we have limes and cost. 3.99 cents. If you don't put the decimal there, you're saying it's $99. Okay, so a dozen. How many are in a dozen? 12? 12. Okay. X. You know what you can do? You can do the giant 1 times 4. So if I multiply that by 4 and I multiply that by 4, what is 99 cents times 4? $3.96. So this one was proportional. Margaret drove her friends to a movie. She drove for 30 minutes at 10 miles an hour in heavy traffic. Then she drove for 15 minutes at 40 miles per hour. How far did she travel in those 45 minutes? Okay, so let's do this. 30 minutes equals half an hour. Okay, so half an hour times 10 miles an hour. She only drove 5 miles. Whoa, I would be crying. Okay, and then 15 minutes equals 1/4 of an hour. So 1/4 times 40 miles equals 10 miles. If I add those two together, she went a whopping 15 miles in 45 minutes. Time to start crying. Okay, not proportional. So you can tell when we set things up in a proportion, which is 2 fractions equal to each other, then it was proportional. If we couldn't set it up that way, then it was not proportional. Your homework right now is 7-12 to 7-17.